the sound within the chambers of your heart, my child, has been a painful and chaotic noise. Has it not a jarring cacophony, a distressing symphony of broken chords and dissonant notes? You have listened to this inner turmoil, this relentless clash of fear against hope, of grief against memory, of confusion against a deep longing for peace. And you have despaired. They, the world, may have only glimpsed the outward signs of this inner discord, an anxiety in your eyes, a tension in your voice, a restlessness in your spirit, and they have drawn their simple, often harsh, conclusions. They're a mess. Some may have whispered, "Oh, their life is so chaotic." They hear only the noise, "Oh, my beloved," and in their limited understanding, they turn away, for the sound of a heart in the process of its unmaking is often too much for them to bear. And you, left alone with the cacophony, have begun to believe that this is the only music your life will ever make, an unending, unresolved symphony of a broken heart. You know the individual instruments in this painful orchestra, my precious one, for you have heard them play their sorrowful solos day after weary day. There is the sharp, staccato violin of anxiety, playing a frantic, high-pitched melody of "what if," its bow scraping against the strings of your nerves until they feel raw and exposed. It plays a tune of future fears, of imagined disasters, of all the ways things could and might go wrong. Its frantic energy leaves no room for peace, no space for quiet contemplation. And beneath it, there's a low, mournful cello of grief, holding a long, deep note of what has been lost. It plays the melody of yesterday, of faces you can no longer touch, of dreams that have turned to dust, of a life that once was and can never be again. Its resonant sorrow fills the very air of your soul, a constant, aching reminder of the empty spaces, the sealed doors, yet the profound finality of your losses. Its song is so beautiful in its sadness that it is often tempting to listen to it, and it alone, to allow its melancholy to become the defining theme of your entire existence. Then there is the chaotic, a rhythmic drumming of a restless and confused mind. It is a beat that has no steady rhythm, a frantic, unpredictable percussion of racing thoughts, of unanswered questions, of replayed conversations, of arguments with yourself and with me. It pounds away, seeking solutions, demanding answers, analyzing every detail of your past and present, searching for a pattern, a reason, a logic in the chaos, only to find itself more and more exhausted, more and more entangled in its own frantic, fruitless rhythm. This is the sound of a mind trying to control what it cannot, to understand what is beyond its grasp, and its relentless drumming has shattered your inner silence, leaving you weary and on edge. And over it all, there are the clashing, dissonant chords of your conflicting desires and emotions. The chord of your desire for healing clashes against the chord of your fear of vulnerability. The chord of your longing for faith clashes against the chord of your intellectual doubt. The chord of your love for others clashes against the chord of your own deep, unmet needs. These unresolved chords create a constant tension within you, a feeling of being pulled apart, a lack of inner harmony that leaves your spirit in a state of perpetual unrest. This inner cacophony, my beloved, has been your painful secret, the soundtrack to your life that you have so often tried to muffle, to hide from the world, and even from yourself. You have attempted to drown it out with the noise of busyness, with the distractions of entertainment, with any external sound that might offer a temporary reprieve from the turmoil within. Or you have tried to silence it with your own will, to force your heart to be quiet, to command your mind to be still, only to find the noise growing louder, more insistent in the forced quiet. The world has offered no true solace. Its solutions are often simplistic. It offers the tinny, superficial music of positive thinking, a melody too shallow to harmonize with the profound bass notes of your true sorrow. It offers the frantic, distracting rhythms of worldly ambition, a beat that only serves to exhaust your already weary spirit. It cannot comprehend the complex score of your suffering, and so it dismisses your cacophony as a sign of your own failure to get it together, to find your tune. But I come to you now, my child, as you sit in the midst of this painful, chaotic noise. I come to you not as a critic of your discordant song, but as its divine composer. And I speak a truth into your heart that will begin to bring a new and beautiful order to the chaos. Listen to me, my beloved. While you have heard only a cacophony, I have been hearing the raw, passionate, authentic notes of your life. While they have heard only noise, I have been discerning the rich, complex themes that will form the very foundation of a magnificent new work. For I am, in this very moment, in the midst of this very turmoil, taking every sharp, dissonant, and sorrowful note, and I'm weaving them together, arranging them, resolving them. I am writing a symphony of restoration in your heart. I am not repulsed by your inner noise. My child, I am drawn to it, for I am a composer who delights in complexity, who sees the potential for profound beauty in the very heart of dissonance. The sharp shriek of your fear, I will use it as a dramatic tension that will make the coming resolution into peace all the more breathtaking. The low drone of your grief, it will become the rich, foundational bass line that gives your new song of joy its profound depth and emotional resonance. The frantic drumming of your mind, I will harness its energy and transform it into a powerful, purposeful rhythm that drives your life forward into my calling. And the clashing chords of your inner conflict, I will resolve them. My child, into harmony so beautiful, so perfect, so filled with my grace, that your own soul will stand in awe. Do not despair at the state of your inner world, my precious one. Do not believe the lie that your heart is broken beyond repair, that your song is forever lost in this cacophony. You have been hearing the orchestra tuning up, a noisy, seemingly chaotic process. Yes, but the maestro has now stepped onto the podium. I have lifted my baton, and a new theme, a melody of hope, of healing, of peace, is about to be introduced. I am the composer, and the symphony I am writing in you, from the very notes of your struggle, will be a masterpiece of my redeeming love, a testament to my power to bring perfect harmony from the most profound and painful dissonance. The work has already begun. Yes, my cherished child, while you have been overwhelmed by the jarring and painful noise within your own soul, while you have believed your heart to be an orchestra of chaos playing a broken and meaningless tune, I, your divine composer, have been listening with an entirely different ear, an ear attuned to the hidden potential, the nascent melody, the profound musicality that lies within your very dissonance. You hear a cacophony. My beloved, but I hear the raw, passionate, and authentic notes from which all great symphonies are born. You feel your heart is out of tune, but I know that I am the maestro who can take even the most discordant sounds and weave them into a harmony so beautiful, so perfect, that it will one day bring your own spirit to tears of joy. The world, and you yourself, have judged the sounds of your heart based on their immediate harmony, their pleasantness to the ear, and because the notes of your present season have been those of pain, of fear, of confusion, you have concluded that the music is ruined, that your song is one of failure. But a master composer does not fear dissonance. My child, on the contrary, he understands its vital role in the creation of a truly magnificent work. Dissonance creates tension. It evokes deep emotion. It makes the eventual resolution into harmony all the more satisfying, all the more breathtaking. The painful sounds you have been making, my child, are not a sign that your music is broken. They are a sign that you are in the midst of a complex, profound, and ultimately glorious symphonic movement. Let me tell you what I hear when you listen to your own inner chaos. When I hear the sharp, staccato cry of your anxiety, I do not just hear fear. I hear a passionate leitmotif of your deep desire for security, for safety, for a future held in loving hands. I hear the raw energy of a spirit that cares profoundly. And I know that this very energy, when rechanneled, when resolved by my peace, will become a powerful, driving rhythm of purposeful action in your life. The notes are not wrong, my child. They have simply not yet found their place in the larger score. I, your composer, know exactly where they belong. When I hear the long, mournful, cello-like drone of your grief, I do not just hear sadness. I hear a beautiful, resonant theme of your immense capacity to love for grief. My beloved is always the measure of a great love that has experienced a great loss. The depth of your sorrow speaks to the depth of your heart, and I, as the composer, I take this profound, melancholic melody, and I do not discard it. I make it a central theme in your symphony, a theme that will add a richness, a poignancy, a profound humanity to your song. And I will weave around it new counter melodies of my comfort, of my hope, of my eternal love, creating a passage of such exquisite, bittersweet beauty that it will have the power to bring healing, not only to your own soul, but to all who hear your story. When I hear the frantic, arrhythmic drumming of your confused and racing mind, I do not just hear chaos. I hear the passionate percussion of a soul desperately seeking truth, of a mind wrestling with the great questions of life, of a spirit refusing to settle for easy, superficial answers. This is the sound of your engagement, your struggle, your desire to know, and I, your maestro, can take this chaotic rhythm and with a gentle, yet firm, tap of my baton, I can bring it into a new and powerful time signature. I can transform its frantic energy into a dynamic and purposeful beat, a rhythm of revelation, of dawning clarity that will drive your symphony forward with a new and exciting momentum. And when I hear the clashing, dissonant chords of your inner conflict, my child, I do not hear a mistake. I hear the necessary tension that precedes a glorious resolution. A symphony without tension, it's a lullaby, pleasant but forgettable, but a symphony that bravely engages with dissonance, that allows conflicting themes to wrestle and interact. is a symphony that is alive, that is powerful, that tells a true and compelling story. I am not afraid of the dissonance in your heart. My beloved, I welcome it, for I know how to resolve it. I know how to take the clashing notes of your struggle and, at the perfect moment, guide them into a chord of such breathtaking peace, such perfect harmony, such glorious resolution, that the memory of the former clash will only serve to make the final harmony all the more beautiful. My work, my child, is not to erase the difficult notes you are playing, but to incorporate them, to redeem them, to give them their proper place within the magnificent symphony of your restoration. You have believed that you must somehow silence this inner noise, that you must become quiet and harmonious on your own before you can be acceptable to me. But this is not so. I invite you to bring me your cacophony. Bring me your fearful violin, your grieving cello, your frantic drums, your clashing chords. Offer me the raw, honest, and sometimes painful music of your present reality. For you are the orchestra, my child, and I am the composer and the conductor. And I am a genius at taking the most complex and challenging of orchestrations and creating from them a masterpiece. My presence with you in this season is that of the composer, sitting in the midst of his orchestra, listening intently to every instrument. I am not in some distant, soundproof room, waiting for you to perfect your tune. I am here with you, amidst the noise. I am listening to the unique timbre of your pain. I am discerning the underlying melody of your hope. I am feeling the rhythm of your struggle. And all the while, I am writing the score, my pen of grace flying across the pages, arranging your notes, adding my own, creating the harmonies, planning the crescendos, and envisioning the final, triumphant chord. Trust my ear, my beloved. Trust my skill. The sounds that are so painful and confusing to you are, to me, the rich and authentic material of a truly great work of art. A life without these passionate, raw notes would be a life of shallow, simplistic music. But your life, my child, because it has known the depth of dissonance, is destined to become a symphony of profound emotional power, of intricate beauty, of eternal significance. Let go of your own judgment of your inner music. Release the shame you have felt over your own dissonance, and begin to trust that the composer who is writing the symphony of your life is a master of his craft, a God whose love is as profound as his musical genius, and who has promised to take every single note of your experience and weave it into a glorious, harmonious, and breathtakingly beautiful symphony of your complete restoration. The music is being written, my child. The harmony is coming. Trust the composer. And so, my cherished child, as you begin to trust that I, your divine composer, am hearing not a chaotic noise, but the raw and passionate notes of your life, let us now explore the very nature of the music itself. For I know that as you listen to your own inner world, you're troubled by the sounds of sorrow, of struggle, of pain, and you have believed these to be mistakes in the composition, jarring errors that have ruined the melody. But I am here to reveal a profound truth of all heavenly music. My beloved, the most beautiful symphonies are not those composed only of bright, cheerful, major keys. The most moving, the most profound, the most eternally significant music is that which has the courage to explore the minor keys, the wisdom to employ dissonant chords and the genius to resolve them into a harmony that is all the more glorious for the tension that preceded it. The painful notes in your life, my child, are not flaws in the score. They are the intentional, masterfully placed minor keys and dissonant chords that are giving your symphony of restoration its incredible depth, its emotional power, and its ultimate, breathtaking beauty. Consider the music of your world, my precious one, a simple, happy tune, played only in major chords, can be pleasant. Yes, it can bring a moment of lighthearted joy, but it does not move the soul to its depths. It does not speak to the complex realities of a heart that has known both love and loss. It is the introduction of the minor key that brings a sense of poignancy, of depth, of a sweet and tender melancholy that resonates with the truest parts of the human experience. The minor key is what allows music to express sorrow, to convey longing, to speak of a beauty that is tinged with a noble sadness, your seasons of grief. My child, the times when your heart has ached with a profound sense of loss, these have been the minor key movements in your symphony. You have experienced them as pure pain, as something to be endured, perhaps even rushed through. But I, your composer, have been using these movements to write a melody of profound and tender beauty within your soul. It is in these minor keys that you have learned the true depths of your own capacity to love. It is here that your heart has been softened, made more compassionate, more empathetic to the sorrows of others. These passages have added a richness, a resonance, a profound humanity to the song of your life that a story of unbroken happiness could never have achieved. They are not mistakes, my beloved. They are the beautiful, mournful, and absolutely essential passages that give your symphony its soul. And what of the dissonant chords? My child, the moments of intense struggle, of inner conflict, of confusion, where everything has felt jarring, out of tune, unresolved. A dissonant chord, by its very nature, is unstable. It creates a sense of tension, of unease. It is a sound that cries out for resolution, for a return to harmony. You have felt this spiritual dissonance within you, this painful clash of conflicting emotions, of faith wrestling with doubt, and you have believed it to be a sign that something is terribly wrong, that your heart is hopelessly out of tune. But a master composer, my child, does not fear dissonance. He uses it with purpose and skill. Dissonance is the engine of musical movement. It is the tension that creates interest, that builds anticipation, that makes the eventual resolution into a consonant. Harmonious chord feels so incredibly satisfying, so deeply peaceful, so gloriously right. The seasons of struggle and confusion in your life, my beloved, have been my use of these dissonant chords. I have allowed the tension to build, not to leave you in a state of perpetual unrest, but to create within your spirit a deep and powerful longing for my harmony, my peace, my resolution. The very intensity of your struggle, the very jarring nature of your inner conflict, has been a testament to the powerful themes at play in your life's symphony. And my promise to you, my child, is that I am a composer who never, ever leaves a dissonance unresolved. I know exactly how to guide the harmonic progression of your life, how to take the clashing notes of your trial, and, at the perfect, appointed moment, resolve them into a chord of such stunning beauty and peace that your entire being will sigh with a profound sense of homecoming. The memory of the tension will only serve to amplify the sweetness of the resolution. The struggle will make the eventual peace all the more precious. These dissonant chords are not errors in the score. They are the dramatic, powerful, and necessary setups for the glorious harmonies I am even now preparing to write. I know that while you are living within these minor keys and dissonant passages, it is difficult to perceive their place in the larger work. It simply feels like pain, like chaos, like a song gone wrong. This is where your trust in me, your composer, is so vital. You must trust that I have a vision for the entire symphony, that I know how these difficult movements serve the whole, that I'm leading you towards a magnificent and harmonious finale. My love for you would never allow me to write a score for your life that is ultimately a tragedy of unresolved dissonance. The story I'm writing is a story of restoration, and restoration, by its very nature, means moving from a state of brokenness and discord into a new state of wholeness and harmony. The world may not understand this. It often seeks to avoid all dissonance, to live only in the simple, predictable major keys. And so, when it has seen the sorrow or the struggle in your life, it may have judged your song as a failure, but you are not living a simple folk tune. My child, you are living a grand, complex, and profound symphony. And such a work requires a full emotional and spiritual palette, including the deep, rich colors of the minor keys and the powerful, dynamic tensions of dissonant chords. As you learn to see your life this way, my beloved, you can begin to relate to your own struggles differently. Instead of seeing them as a sign that you are out of tune with me, you can see them as a sign that I am composing a particularly deep and powerful movement in your life. You can learn to endure the tension with a new patience, a new hope, knowing that it is a prelude to a glorious resolution. You can learn to honor the sorrow of the minor key, knowing that it is carving out within you a new capacity for compassion and love. You are my instrument, my child, and I am the maestro. And sometimes, the most beautiful music is produced when the instrument is stretched, when its strings are pressed in new and challenging ways. Trust my hands upon you. Trust my compositional skill. The painful notes you are experiencing are not random noise. They are essential, purposeful, and masterfully placed elements in the magnificent, unfolding symphony of your complete and glorious restoration, and the harmony that is coming. My child will be all the more beautiful because of them. And so, my cherished child, as you learn to trust me, your divine composer, even amidst the dissonant chords in the minor keys of your life's unfolding score, a new and beautiful phenomenon begins to take place within the very concert hall of your soul. For the tension does not last forever. The discord is not the final word. Having used the challenging passages to create depth, to build character, to evoke a profound longing for resolution, my hand now begins to guide the orchestra of your being into a new movement. Listen, my beloved, listen with the newly attuned ears of your spirit. Can you hear it? Faintly at first, perhaps like a single, clear flute rising above the fading rumble of the timpani. A new melody begins to emerge. It is a gentle, hopeful, and exquisitely beautiful melody of peace, a quiet harmony of hope, the first audible strains of the symphony of restoration that I'm writing especially for you. After the long, chaotic passages where the instruments seemed at war with one another, this emergence of a clear melody is a profound and welcome relief. It is the first sign that the composer is indeed in control, that the apparent chaos was not random noise, but a purposeful, though difficult, introduction to a new and more beautiful theme. This is the moment, my child, where your faith begins to be rewarded with the first fruits of experiential evidence. You have trusted me in the dissonance. Now, you are invited to delight in the first notes of the coming harmony. This new melody of peace may not be a loud, triumphant fanfare at first. More often, it is a simple, quiet theme, played by the gentlest instruments of your soul. You may notice it as a moment of unexplainable calm in the middle of a busy day, a sudden stilling of the anxious thoughts that once raced through your mind. You may find yourself able to breathe more deeply, to release a tension in your shoulders you did not even realize you were carrying. This is the new melody, my child. It is the theme of my own shalom, which I have written into the score of your life. A melody whose simple, serene beauty has the power to soothe the most agitated spirit and to bring a quiet order to the most chaotic inner world. As this melody of peace begins to play more frequently, more consistently, you will also begin to hear the emergence of new harmonies, the dissonant chords of your inner conflict, the clash of faith and doubt, of hope and fear, of love and hurt, begin to resolve. This resolution is a work of my divine grace, the art of taking two conflicting notes and finding a third, higher note that brings them into a beautiful and unexpected harmony. You will find that your faith and your doubt can coexist, with faith becoming the strong, foundational root of the chord, and doubt merely a passing tone that adds a certain poignancy to the music. You will find that your hope can harmonize with the memory of your sorrow, creating a bittersweet chord of profound depth and compassionate wisdom. This is the harmony of a soul that is becoming whole, a soul that is learning to integrate all of its experiences, both painful and joyful, into a single, beautiful, and coherent musical expression. And what of the frantic, a rhythmic drumming of your restless mind? My beloved, as you continue to trust me, as you surrender your need to control and to understand everything, you will find that I, your divine conductor, gently begin to bring a new and steady rhythm to your inner world. The chaotic percussion gives way to a gentle, life-giving pulse, a rhythm that is in sync with the very heartbeat of my own eternal peace. Your thoughts will begin to flow with a new clarity, a new grace. Your days will take on a new sense of order and purpose. This new rhythm, my child, is the foundation of a life of peace, a life that moves not with anxious, jerky motions, but with the graceful, confident flow of a dancer who is perfectly in tune with their partner, their maestro. These emerging melodies and harmonies, my precious one, are the undeniable signs that my composition is taking shape, that I am indeed writing a symphony of restoration in your heart. They are my love notes to you, my whispers of encouragement, my tangible proof that your trust in me, your endurance through the difficult passages has not been in vain. They are the first audible echoes of the masterpiece that is your becoming. I invite you now to become an active listener to this new music of your soul. When you hear that gentle melody of peace, pause and savor it. Give thanks for it. Allow its beauty to permeate your being. when you feel that new harmony of resolved conflict. Acknowledge it. Recognize the miracle of it. Let it strengthen your faith in my ability to bring good from all things. When you sense that new, steady rhythm in your spirit, choose to move with it, to live by it, to let it govern the pace of your life by consciously paying attention to and cooperating with these first strains of your new symphony. You are helping to amplify their sound, to give them more prominence in the concert hall of your heart. Do not be discouraged if the old, dissonant sounds sometimes try to reappear. The memory of the former cacophony may still echo at times. A string may snap, a note may be played out of tune. This is part of the reality of living in a world that is not yet fully restored. But the new melody, the new harmony, the new rhythm that I have established within you is now the dominant theme. It is the home key to which your soul will always return. And my grace is always present to attune the strings, to correct the wrong notes, to gently, lovingly bring your heart back into harmony with the beautiful symphony I am writing for you. The world may not hear this new music at first. They may still see the outward circumstances of your life and expect to hear the old song of sorrow or struggle. But as you continue to live from this new inner harmony, it will begin to radiate from you. They will see a new peace in your eyes. They will hear a new grace in your words. They will feel a new strength in your presence and your very life. My child will become a beautiful, mysterious song, a melody of restoration that will draw others to wonder at the composer who can create such harmony from such brokenness. So listen, my beloved, listen to the new song that is beginning to rise within you. It is the song of your own restored soul, a symphony composed by me, its themes woven from your own unique journey, its melodies filled with my grace, its harmonies resonant with my peace, its rhythm in perfect time with my eternal heart. The cacophony is fading. The music of your new beginning is emerging, and it is more beautiful than you could ever have imagined. And so, my cherished child, as the first, beautiful strains of your new melody begin to emerge from the fading cacophony of your past, as the quiet harmonies of my peace begin to resolve the dissonant chords of your struggle. A new and joyful invitation is extended to your spirit, for you are not meant to be a mere passive audience to this symphony of restoration I am writing in your heart. No, my beloved, you are a vital member of the orchestra, the primary instrumentalist, and I, your divine composer and loving maestro, now invite you to learn how to play in beautiful, resonant harmony with me. This is the sacred art of cooperating with my creative work, of learning to listen for the underlying melody I'm writing, of choosing to tune the instrument of your own heart to my key, and of playing your part through trust, through surrender, through praise, in the magnificent unfolding of your life song. The instrument, my child, is your very own soul, your will, your mind, your emotions, your body, your unique spirit. It is a magnificent instrument designed by me with the capacity for a range of expression, a depth of tone, and a beauty of sound that is utterly unique in all of creation. But through the hardships of your journey, through the seasons of neglect or misuse, this precious instrument may have fallen out of tune. The strings of your heart may have become slack with sorrow or overwhelmed with anxiety. The resonating chamber of your mind may have become cluttered with the dust of worldly thinking or the echoes of past hurts. And so, the music it produced was often dissonant, a reflection of its untuned state. Our first work together in this new movement, my beloved, is the gentle and loving process of tuning your instrument. This is a work of alignment, of bringing every part of your being back into harmony with me, your keynote, your perfect pitch. This requires your willing participation, your conscious choice to allow my hand to touch the very tuning pegs of your soul. This tuning begins with your mind. It means consciously choosing to release the old, discordant thought patterns, the thoughts of fear, of unworthiness, of hopelessness, of judgment against yourself and others. These thoughts produce a harsh, grating sound in the symphony of your life. I invite you now to allow me to loosen these old, tight strings of negative thinking, and as you release them, we will tighten the new strings of my truth, the strings that resonate with love, with grace, with hope, with the reality of your belovedness. As you choose to focus your mind on my truth, on what is good and pure and lovely, you are allowing me to tune your intellect to the key of heaven, and the music of your thoughts will begin to be clear, bright, and harmonious. Then we turn to the strings of your heart, your emotions. For so long, your heart may have been playing the mournful song of grief or the frantic rhythm of anxiety. I do not ask you to deny these feelings, my child, but I do invite you to allow me to retune them by bringing your honest emotions into the light of my presence, by allowing my peace to wash over your fear, my comfort to soothe your sorrow. You are allowing me to adjust the tension, to bring your emotional world back into a state of beautiful, resonant balance. The goal is not a heart that feels nothing, but a heart that feels all things in harmony with me, a heart that can know sorrow without being consumed by it, a heart that can feel apprehension without being ruled by it, a heart whose foundational emotion is the deep, abiding peace of my presence. And we must tune your will, my precious one, the very center of your choices, a will that is set against me, that is determined to play its own tune, will always create a profound and painful dissonance in the symphony of a life. The process of surrender, of yielding the pen of your story to me, has been the great retuning of your will. And as you continue to make the daily choice to align your will with mine, to say, not my will, but yours, be done, you are bringing the most powerful instrument in your soul into perfect, beautiful harmony with your composer, and a yielded will. My child is an instrument through which I can play the most magnificent melodies of my grace and power. Once your instrument is being tuned, my beloved, you are invited to listen with a new depth of attention for the melody I am writing. I am the conductor of this symphony, and I am always giving you the cues, always indicating the theme, always guiding the rhythm. You must learn to watch my baton, to listen for my leading. This means cultivating that inner stillness, that quiet attentiveness to the promptings of my spirit. I will guide you into the next musical phrase, the next movement of your life. My leading will always be in harmony with the overarching themes of love and grace. As you learn to recognize and follow my direction, you will find yourself playing your part with a new confidence, a new grace, a new sense of being perfectly in sync with the grand design. And then, my child, you are called to play. To play your part in the symphony is to act in faith upon the leading I give you. When the music calls for a courageous action, you take the step. When the melody calls for a quiet word of love, you speak it. When the harmony calls for an act of forgiveness, you offer it. Your acts of obedience. Are you playing your instrument in time with the orchestra, adding your unique, beautiful sound to the magnificent whole? Do not fear playing a wrong note, my child, for I am a gracious conductor. And when you falter, my grace is there to cover you, to correct you, to seamlessly weave even your imperfect notes into the beauty of the final piece. The important thing is not to play perfectly, but to play willingly, with a heart attuned to me. Finally, my beloved musician, know that one of the most beautiful ways you can play in harmony with me is through the music of praise and thanksgiving. Gratitude is the harmony that beautifully complements every melody I write when you lift your heart in praise. Even amidst your trials, you are adding a rich, resonant chord that glorifies me and fills your own soul with a profound joy. Thanksgiving for what I am doing, for the new song I am writing, for the restoration that is underway, is a powerful act of faith that aligns your spirit with my creative work and accelerates its beautiful unfolding. This is the glorious collaboration to which you are now invited. My child, you are not a passive listener, but my cherished instrumentalist. I am the composer, the conductor, the one who writes the score and guides the performance. And you are the one through whom the music is made manifest. As you learn to yield to my tuning, to listen for my leading, and to play your part in faith, the symphony of your restoration will swell in beauty, in power, in glory, until your entire life becomes a magnificent, harmonious testament to the God who can take even the most broken of instruments and use it to create a sound that fills all of heaven with joy. And so, my cherished child, my beloved musician, as you learn to play the instrument of your soul in beautiful, trusting harmony with me, your divine maestro, the music that now emanates from your life begins to take on a new and breathtaking splendor. The chaotic and dissonant sounds of your former brokenness, which once seemed to be the only music you could produce, are now being resolved, redeemed, and woven into a composition of such profound beauty that all of heaven pauses to listen. This, my precious one, is the splendor of the finished score, the magnificent sound of the symphony of restoration that we, together, are bringing to life. It is a unique masterpiece, filled with the depth of your journey, the passion of your spirit, and the radiant harmony of my all-encompassing grace. No longer is your inner world a cacophony of clashing instruments. The frantic violin of your anxiety has been soothed, its notes now transformed into a melody of serene and trusting peace. The mournful cello of your grief, while still adding its rich and poignant depth to the composition, no longer plays a solo of despair. It is now part of a beautiful, harmonious string section, its sorrowful theme enveloped and supported by the comforting chords of my presence and the hopeful notes of your renewed spirit. The chaotic drumming of your confused mind has found its rhythm, its energy now channeled into a steady, purposeful beat that drives the symphony forward with a new and graceful momentum. The once jarring sounds have not been erased. My child, they have been transfigured, given their perfect place within a larger, more beautiful, and divinely coherent whole. This symphony of your restored heart is a composition of unparalleled beauty because it is authentic. It does not pretend that the minor keys of sorrow do not exist. It does not shy away from the dissonant chords of struggle. Instead, it bravely incorporates them, honors them, and then masterfully, beautifully resolves them into a harmony that is all the more glorious for the tension that preceded it. This is a music that is real, that is true to the full spectrum of a life lived in a broken world, but a life that is being held, guided, and redeemed by a loving God. And this authenticity, my child, gives your song a power, a resonance, a capacity to touch other hearts that a simpler, more superficial tune could never possess. Behold the splendor of the score as it now unfolds. There are movements of quiet, gentle beauty, where the melody of your piece flows like a clear, calm river, bringing refreshment and tranquility to your own soul and to those around you. There are movements of joyful, exuberant celebration, where all the instruments of your being join together in a triumphant fanfare of praise and gratitude, a glorious crescendo of a heart overflowing with my goodness. And there are still passages of profound depth, of tender, bittersweet reflection, where the memory of your past sorrows is revisited, not with the old pain, but with a new and beautiful compassion, a wisdom that has been born from your redeemed tears. The splendor of this symphony is also found in its unique orchestration. My beloved, your life's music does not sound like anyone else's. For the combination of instruments, your unique gifts, your specific personality, your particular experiences is entirely your own. I, your composer, have written a score that is perfectly suited to the unique timbre of your soul. I have not asked you to play a part that was not written for you. Instead, I have taken the very essence of who you are, with all your strengths and your surrendered weaknesses, and I have composed a work that allows your own unique, God-given sound to shine in all its glory. Your life, my child, is my original composition, a one-of-a-kind masterpiece, and its unique beauty is a source of my constant delight as you continue to play in harmony with me, my child, as you continue to listen for my leading and to respond in faith. This symphony will only grow in its richness, its complexity, and its splendor. New themes will be introduced. New movements will unfold. The harmony will become even more intricate, the beauty even more profound. For the restoration I am working in your heart is not a static event, but a dynamic, ongoing process of your becoming ever more fully the magnificent song I created you to be. The world, my child, which once heard only the noise of your struggle, will now begin to hear the music. They may not understand the principles of divine composition. They may not be able to name the keys or the chords, but they will be captivated by the beauty, the peace, the authenticity, the quiet power of the music that now emanates from your life. They will see a person who has known deep sorrow, yet is filled with a resilient joy. They will see a person who has known profound confusion, yet now walks with a quiet wisdom. They will see a person who was once broken, yet is now a beautiful testament to a power that not only mends, but makes all things new. And your life, this beautiful, unfolding symphony of restoration will become an irresistible invitation to them, a melody that calls them to seek the source of all true harmony, the divine composer who can bring such beautiful music from any life that is yielded to his touch. My joy as your maestro, my beloved, is to stand before the orchestra of your life and to conduct this magnificent work. It is to see you, my precious instrumentalist, looking to me with trust, responding to my leading with a willing heart, and playing your unique part with a new and growing confidence. The music we are making together, my child, is a music that brings light into darkness, hope into despair, beauty into brokenness. It is a music that resonates with the very heartbeat of heaven. So, let your heart be filled with awe and wonder at the splendor of the score that is your life. Release any lingering shame over the dissonant passages of your past, for you now know that they were essential for the beauty of the whole. Embrace your unique part in this divine orchestra and continue to play, my beloved, with all your heart in beautiful, trusting harmony with me. For the symphony of your restoration is a work of eternal beauty, a masterpiece of my grace, and it's glorious. Harmonious music will resound for all eternity. And so, my cherished child, my beloved instrumentalist, as you delight in the beautiful, harmonious music that is now beginning to flow from your restored heart, let this final, glorious truth become the very key signature of your entire life, the unshakable certainty that will sustain you through every movement yet to come. The symphony of restoration I am writing in you is not a fleeting composition, not a piece with a finite end. No, my beloved, your life, in my hands, is becoming an eternal anthem of grace, a sacred work whose movements will continue to unfold in ever-increasing beauty and glory, not only for the duration of your earthly days, but for all of eternity. And I, your divine composer, promise you that I will continue to write, to guide, and to conduct until the final, magnificent chord resolves into the everlasting peace and joy of my immediate presence. The splendor you are now beginning to experience, the harmony that is replacing the old cacophony, is but the first movement of this grand symphony. My child, it is a beautiful and triumphant movement. Yes, but it is not the entirety of the work. There are more melodies to be introduced, more harmonies to be explored, more glorious crescendos to be built. Your journey with me is one of perpetual becoming, a continuous unfolding of the musical masterpiece I have designed for your soul. Do not ever think that the work is finished or that you have arrived at a static state of perfection. No, my beloved, we are on a glorious, eternal journey of co-creating this magnificent anthem together. As you walk into your future, you will encounter new experiences, new challenges, new joys, and each of these will become a new musical theme, a new set of notes that I, your loving composer, will skillfully weave into your ongoing symphony. Should you encounter new seasons of sorrow, do not fear that the cacophony will return to rule your heart, for you now know the secret. You now know that these minor keys, these dissonant chords, are not mistakes, but are opportunities for me to create even deeper, more poignant, more beautiful passages of music. You can face future trials with a new confidence, knowing that I can redeem any note, resolve any dissonance, and use every experience to add a new layer of richness and complexity to your song. My commitment to you, my child, is to be the faithful composer and conductor of your life for all time. My creative energy will never run dry. My love for you, which is the very inspiration for this music, will never fade. My skill in bringing harmony from discord will never fail. You can trust me with the chapters of your life that are not yet written, with the movements of your symphony that are not yet played. I hold the entire score in my hands, and I see its magnificent, triumphant, and glorious conclusion. And I promise you, with all the authority of my being, that I will bring our symphony to that very end. The purpose of this eternal anthem of grace, my beloved, is twofold. First, it is for your own everlasting joy. It is to fill your own spirit with the music so beautiful, so profound, that it becomes your constant delight, your inner sanctuary of peace. But it is also for my glory and for the blessing of all creation. Your life, my child, this beautiful symphony of restoration, is destined to be played in the great concert hall of my kingdom for all to hear. It will be a testament to my redeeming love, a demonstration of my power to bring order from chaos, a song that will inspire and encourage other souls for generations to come. Your story, your music, has an eternal significance, a cosmic importance that you cannot yet fully comprehend. Live, then, my beloved musician, in the joyful reality of this high calling. Continue to practice the sacred art of playing in harmony with me. Keep your instrument, your soul, tuned to my spirit. Listen for my leading, my tempo, my dynamics, and play your part with all your heart, with a spirit of trust, of surrender, of grateful praise. Know that you are participating in a work of eternal beauty, a composition that will never end, but will only continue to unfold in ever-increasing splendor. The final note of your earthly sojourn, my child, will not be one of sorrow or regret. It will be a triumphant, resonant chord that resolves perfectly, seamlessly, into the opening note of your eternal symphony in my immediate presence, where all dissonance will be gone forever, and only the pure, perfect, and breathtakingly beautiful music of my unconditional love will remain. This is the promise I make to you. This is the destiny I am writing for you. Your life is, and will forever be, a magnificent, unfolding, eternal anthem of my grace. And now, my cherished one, as the beautiful strains of this symphony of restoration fill the quiet chambers of your soul, let your spirit be utterly at peace. The chaotic noise of the past has been redeemed, its painful notes woven into a composition of profound and healing beauty. You are my beloved instrument, and the music we are making together is a song of eternal hope, a testament to a love that never fails. Rest in this harmony. My child, let its gentle rhythm soothe you, its beautiful melodies gladden you, and its divine peace be your constant and abiding reality, now and forevermore.